So Ohio State signed 24 guys on National Signing Day on Wednesday, and Ryan Day gave the winky sign about when I said, do you have room for any more guys? They're going to probably end up with Clark Phillips, who's been committed to Ohio State forever. He's announcing on Thursday, California guy, and then Cam Martinez from Michigan is going to wait until February. The 24 that they have right now, it's 18 guys from out of state. No, 16 guys from out of state, 8 from Ohio. So what's that ratio? 16 over 8. 2-1, and it might end up at 18-8. Overall, for Ryan Day, what do you think of a ratio of currently 16 out-of-state kids versus 8 Ohio kids in this class, Nathan Baird?
Ultimately, Ryan Day is not going to be judged by how many Ohio State football or how many players from the state of Ohio he brought here. He's going to be judged by how many games he wins. In order to win at the level that this fan base expects him to win at, that this school and administration expects him to win at, he's got to go find the best players in the country. And if that means it's a 2-1 or worse ratio in a given year, so be it. I think when you have the best players in the country coming out of Ohio, you need to identify those early, and you need to be at least in on them, if not getting them. But preferably, I think probably landing them if they're just within just a couple hours. And it's not just Ohio; it's within a couple hours of your campus. But in the long run, nobody's going to look back on this class if they win a national championship in 3 years and say, "Yeah, but they only had 8 kids from Ohio." They're going to take their national championship and enjoy it.
I liked how Stephen Means asked Ryan Day the question, yo, how come no Cleveland kids? Which I like. You notice that, if you run down the eight Ohio kids, it's Cincinnati, Norwalk, Pickerington, and somewhere else. What's the deal? Let's look ahead to next year. This in-state and out-of-state stuff, a lot of it comes down to where's the talent. Mm-hmm. 8 Ohio kids this year. Will there be more in 2021?
Yeah, I think so. I think his first year here, he needed to solidify himself in this state because this is the only Power 5 school in the state, and you need to solidify your own state when that's the situation you're in. He did that by maybe taking some 3-star guys that maybe 2 or 3 years from now he won't have to take. But now he's got that foundation in the state. So now when you do have the Darion Henrys and the Paris Johnson Juniors, who are the number 1 and number 2 players in Ohio. When those guys come around, you can also go get those guys like Jack Sawyer in 2021 and some other guys in 2021 where they've already got 4 of the top 10 players from this state, and 2 or 3 of those guys are top 100 guys. So I think that's what his plan here. Your first class, you maybe take some 3-star guys, some lower-level guys, because then you establish your foundation in your state so that then when you have the 5 and 4-star guys in your class, now they want to stay home because you've already built a foundation here.
I would say this. I would say Ryan Day and Mark Pantoni, get to Cleveland. What's going on, man? There's good players up there. Jaden Ballard, he's from our area, right?
He is. He is, actually.
He's our guy in 2021. We're looking out for you. Northeast Ohio is where it's at, man. There's all kinds of talent up there. You better lock it down. There was a time when Michigan, I'm just saying.
Shout out to Tyreek Smith.
See? Shout out to the 50 guys from Glenville who made this program what it was for the past 10 years. I'm just kidding. Stuff happens. They'll be back in Northeast Ohio if they know it's good for them. I do think you do have to go national. I'm repeating myself if you've watched me over the years, I like having an Ohio heart to this team. I think I like that they leaned some of the 3-star guys that they took on the line. They took Ohio guys instead of taking guys. They've taken 3-star linemen in the past from South Dakota and New Jersey, and then it's like these guys transfer when they don't play. And it's like they admit these are some developmental guys, and those guys are happy to be Buckeyes. So I like how that worked out. I think you're right. I'm not sure they'll do that all the time down the line. I think they took some of those guys early before Ryan Day established himself. But I do think in the end, for 24 guys, that it's 16-8. That's like an Urban Meyer ratio. Like Tressel used to be more like 50-50. A lot of times, Ryan Day is you wondered, can he recruit national like Urban Meyer? And Ari Wasserman asked 15 questions today about Ryan Day, you aren't as cool as Urban Meyer. What are you going to do about it? He did it. They went everywhere. They went to Texas and took the best kid out of Pennsylvania, took 5 kids off the West Coast. But in the end, the most important guy in this class is Paris Johnson. Because when you come in and you're at a school like this, imagine not getting the number 1 kid in Ohio. Imagine a guy who looks like a prototypical left tackle who might be ready to play, quick on the offensive line. Imagine if Paris Johnson had gone somewhere else.
Like Clemson with Jackson Carman?
People flipped out when that happened a couple years ago. But with a new coach, just imagine how we'd be standing here today. Everything that we said about this class, there would be a but behind it, because the but would be, but they didn't get the best kid in Ohio. But they went and re-recruited him. Ryan Day said that. They started from ground zero with Paris Johnson. You've written about that. They didn't sit back on rest all their laurels. They sold that family. That family became very important to this class, and that's a huge feather in the cap for Ohio State. Sometimes locking down the obvious stuff sometimes doesn't get enough credit, but man, they needed that guy and they got him. We're leaving on the weekend for the Fiesta Bowl. We'll have more signing day coverage. Until then, try the text at cleveland.com/OSU. Read the stories there. Try our YouTube channel. And, of course, listen to Buckeye Talk, which we are going to record shortly. See